folding paper, sewing beautiful endbands, connecting cloth corners, and connecting marble paper. That's what I'm going to do today. Hello and welcome to my studio. My name is Ido Agassi, and today I'm going to make a half binding. That means some of the binding is going to be covered with cloth, the spine and a bit of the front, and I'm going to connect cloth corners. The rest is going to be covered with a beautiful marbled paper. So with an idea in mind, let's bind. I'm going to start by bringing the papers. And I'm going to fold it into signatures of 16 pages. I love this paper. This is 90-gram paper from Zanders. And it is great for writing and for sketching. Two, four, six, eight. In the next stage, I'm going to pierce some holes. I'll bring my board and the template, take my awl, and I'm starting to pierce the holes, making sure it is straight, and then punching them. For this binding, I decided to make a French link stitch on the spine. That helps hold the signature together. And even though this is a hard cover and I'm going to glue the whole spine together, still I want another reinforcement to the spine. By the way, these papers are blank, but as you can see, I put the papers in the same order, so when I'm going to sew it, I will also bind it in the same order. That's a good habit to have when you are binding printed books. Each time I'm closing the signature so the hole would be exactly in the fold. And I'm in the last one. I love the repetition of piercing the holes. Trying not to move it too much, making sure the holes are in the right place, and I'll move on to sewing. I'm going to use 40 by 3 ply linen thread. If you want to learn more about how to decide which thread to use, I have a video about threads that I would link in the description. I'll bring my template so I'll have the measurement, and because I have 8 signatures, I want 9 times 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. I'll cut it, and I'm going to thread the needle. I'll do my needle trick, connecting 3 centimeters from the edge and just inserting the needle inside the thread, and that way it holds the thread and there's no knot. I like to sew at the edge of the table, and that allows me to maneuver the needle as I want. Holding the thread so it won't get tangled too much. Always in the beginning, when the thread is long, things are twisting and moving, and as you go on, things are starting to get into place. When I feel the thread is twisting too much, I just throw it back and make sure it's not tangling with itself, and back to the signature. At the edges, what I do is I make a kettle stitch, and that's making a loop and then going with the needle inside the loop. I always leave it like this. Make sure I'm pulling the thread to the direction of sewing. And then locking the knot. I'll jump in the edit as I'm repeating myself, and I want to show you more details of the process. I'm going to cut this. Now I'm going to tip in the end papers, and for that I'm going to bring my glue. I'm going to glue only a 1 centimeter, of course, on the closed side, and I'll tip it in, making sure it is straight all around, and then work with the bond folder. I'll do the other side. I'll put the weights so it would dry nicely, and I'll slide it over here. In the meantime, I'm going to take this clamp. This is a Stanley 5702, and I'm using it to make headbands on the edge of the table. I'm going to take my book and I'm going to lock it. And I'm going to choose some threads. I'll go for the dark blue and the red, and maybe another color. I'll take it just in case. Close it and take it aside. I'll start with the first color, the navy blue. I'll bring the knot backwards. The end band usually starts with a loop. I'll change to the red color. I think sewing end bands is one of the things I love doing the most in bookbinding. It has the balance between needlework, precision, and patience. Take the red back and tie everything together. And everything is going to be hidden in the spine, so even if I have leftover thread, it will be hiding in the back. At this stage, what I like to do is make sure everything is straight and nice. I'll bring a bit of glue just to glue the back here, so everything would hold nicely and won't move. I'll bring my gauze or Mull. As you can see, I have a lifetime supply. I'll bring my finishing press, and I'm going to bring the book. See everything is straight. And put it inside. Lock it. And now I will bring my glue brush, and I'm going to glue the spine. Filling in all the gaps. Now I'm taking my bone folder and squeezing the threads from the end bands so they won't point out. And I'm going to add the Mull, put it between the kettle stitches, another layer. And while this is drying, I will start working on the outside cover. So I'm going to take my board and start marking with a pencil. I'll take this beautiful tool that I don't know how it is called, so if you do write me in the comments, you can open it and change the size of the corner, and then you just put it and you can duplicate the same corner, the same place. So I would love to hear how this tool is called. I'm making a 2.5 centimeter corners. Of course, on 4 corners. And now I'm going to take my weight and take a ruler, which is 3 centimeters, and I'm going to mark 3 centimeters from the edge on this one and on this one. Now the fun part of gluing. When I'm gluing, I'm always aiming to glue from the inside out. And the waste paper is allowing me to glue in a straight line. I'll bring a piece of cloth and connect. Flip it over. And now I'm using a gap of 1 centimeter for the spine. Let's see the result. Pretty exact. I'll take my bone folder, work on it. Of course, I'm not getting into all the details like in my bookbinding classes. This video is more to see me work and enjoy the process. In my classes, I go more in depth about the reason for everything, but you can pick up many details of the process while watching, I'm sure. I like to give the cover a bit of movement, a bit of ventilation to myself. Now let's work on the corners. And now for me it is very important to take a 2 centimeter ruler, and I'm going to trim all around, so when I will fold it inside it would be the same all around. Many people won't see the difference, but I'm always aiming for perfection. That is why the cloth is bigger than what I need, so I can trim it when I finish. Now I'll bring my corner jig and I'm going to cut all around. And glue the long side and fold it inwards and work the corner one side. The reason you do a corner with cloth and not with paper is for the binding to be more durable in the corners. I think this looks beautiful as is. Wow. Nice, huh? It could work like this, by the way, but adding on it some marbled paper, it would look amazing. So let me bring the marbled paper. Because this is a very special and expensive paper, and it is 25, that is why I cut it to half. So I will have 1.5 centimeter for the fold-ins. If I knew that before, I would cut also the cloth the same. I'll bring my cover and my weight. And I'm going to measure 12. I like to glue the thicker material first, always. Now for the scary part, I'm going to bring it to the weight. See, I'm in the fold here, that I have a straight line, and then move it and connect. I'll do the other side. Going to bring it to my mark and to the weight. I think this is the most complicated part in this binding process, to make it straight And to make it even on 4 sides, I'll flip it over. Now we will see the difference between the paper and the cloth because I cut the paper 25 and the cloth 26. But you learn from your mistakes, and next time I will measure the paper before so I would know. Wow. Now I'm going to bring the book, see everything fits nicely. I'll take a weight for the back side. Take my big brush and glue the entire paper. Take the waste paper out and close the book. Open it on the edge of the table. Looks good. Let's do the other side. Taking the waste paper out and closing. Making sure everything was okay before I put it inside the press. Looks straight, looks good. I like to put a divider before putting inside the press. So this is one side and this would be for the other side. And then when it's pressed, it won't leave a mark. Put it on the edge here, put one board on it, slide it inside and press. Take the book out. So here we are with the final result with the marbled paper and the corners to protect it. And it opens flat. The Endbands looks really good. Thank you for watching the whole process of making this binding. I hope you enjoyed this video. Also consider subscribing if you are interested in other things related to bookbinding, to box making and much more. And I'll see you in my next video.